Well, I have had seizures since I was about either 5 or 6. Minor, not grand mal seizures, just little tremors where I would shake and drop things. And so we went to the doctor and they diagnosed me with epilepsy. I've been dealing with that for the last, 20 plus years. Controlled for the most part with medication. And it hasn't really affected my life, I want to say, except for being an annoyance. Taking medicine twice a day until having kids, and then with my pregnancies. With my son, I had 4 grand mals in the 3rd trimester. First one, I was in our cabin in Eastern Washington and I got airlifted. We didn't know exactly why I had it. Ended up, going to the hospital and then coming to see my seizure doctor after doing blood work. And they basically chalked it up to the baby growing and taking the medicine from me, essentially. So we adjusted my medication and, that was obviously a pain because, the medicine that I am on, still currently on, is for pregnancy not the best medicine to be on. And trying to figure all that out was a scary time, and, not knowing if I was going to have another one. And then also the doctor saying, okay, well, you had a grand mal seizure, so you can't drive for 6 months. That was hard. Everybody falls down, all the way down. You just gotta hold on tight. You gotta get up, gonna make it through this time. Everybody falls down, all the way down. You just gotta hold on tight. You gotta get up, gonna make it through this time. My dad ended up coming over every morning when my husband would leave for work at 5 in the morning to make sure that I was okay. Was, very blessed to have my family, but I felt babysat in a way. So that's when the seizures became more of a personal struggle for me. My daughter in October last year, and with her I ended up having 6 grand mal seizures. Her pregnancy was a little different because we knew that the seizures were a possibility, so we kind of knew more what to expect. So once I had the first one, for me it was more of a feeling of, okay, not again, like here we go down this road. She was 6 weeks early, and that was due to the seizures. The last seizure I had, I got admitted to the hospital for a week before the doctor said that she was okay to be taken early, if I was okay with that. And I said, if she's okay and healthy and you think she will be fine, then take her, because I can't have any more seizures. Feel like you're alone when you're lost, but you're already home. Lie awake 'cause you can't dream without it. It's gonna be alright. I'm never gonna leave your side. Women and people just in general just don't talk about it enough. But postpartum and anxiety and depression and all of that hit me after having my second. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I knew something was wrong. I don't think I wanted to admit it. having to admit that to myself made me think I was a failure. Like a failure as a mom, and I didn't want to feel that way. Feelings were just numbness. There were days where the kids would just, you know, cry, and I don't want to say I was okay with letting them cry. I just didn't feel like being a mom. Felt that love and that want to be around my kids. I didn't ever not have that. You know, obviously I'm still dealing with it. As you can see, I don't really think that anybody in our extended families knew, because if we ever did anything, I would, you know, put that fake smile on and everything was fine. But once we were in our house with our, you know, door shut, walls would cave in, and I think, you know, once I knew I could not take care of my kids, I knew that I needed to go see someone. That's not who I wanted my children to see as mom. Something just needed to happen, and I told him that I was gonna go see a doctor. He agreed that that was probably a good idea, and I went, and she prescribed me Lexapro, and I took it for 3 weeks maybe, and immediately stopped taking it after the 3 weeks. I felt like a complete zombie. There were days where I would wake up and feed the kids, and then I would fall asleep on the couch, and my kids would be, you know, playing around in the living room for 2-3 hours, and my son would wake me up because he had to go to the bathroom, or because he was hungry, or I would wake up because my daughter was crying. I think at that point I realized that I would rather go back to being miserable than being on the medicine, because the medicine was making me not even there. And if I wasn't there even awake to take care of my own kids, then, you know, what good was that doing for anyone? Everybody falls down all the way down. You just gotta hold on tight. You gotta get up, gonna make it through this time. Everybody falls down all the way down. You just gotta hold on tight. You gotta get. I actually joined a mom's group online about self-help and self-love and self-care. I would honestly say that the best thing that I have done, and I would pass on, is to talk about it. Whether that be with, you know, your best friend or a loved one, or even if you're just sitting in front of a mirror and saying, this is what I'm going through, and talking to yourself. Don't bottle it in. If my story can help somebody else open up and help them, then that's, you know, that's all I can ask for. They can't go through it alone, is what I've experienced. It's gonna be alright. I'm never gonna leave your side. It's gonna be alright. Everybody falls down all the way down. You just gotta hold on tight. That noise you might hear is my son's Mickey Mouse squawk. Don't mind that, that's part of being a mom. It's speaking in Japanese, by the way, too.